At the end of last summer, my SL sprung a leak from one of the hydraulic cylinders in the soft top. So I'm going to be tackling that today. I'm going to show you guys the procedures and what to do. When that does happen, there is a lot of hydraulic fluid that will leak out depending on which cylinder. There are a total of 12 cylinders. There are kits online that you can purchase to do this yourself. It is not the easiest job. It is doable though. I'll leave the link down below to the kit that I used that uses O-rings, and I'll show you what steps you need to take to remove the cylinders, and hopefully when I get all that sorted, everything will work properly and I won't have any issues, and I'll be able to use it whenever I want to. So let me show you the first step. I've already removed the top portion where the latches attach to the soft top. So this is the section here. You want to make sure you put some something to protect this if it does leak. But mine weren't leaking on this section. The one that was leaking on me is the main lift cylinder in that corner, and it leaked out through the drain port. These are your latches, these are the cylinders, these are the pins that you remove to get the lines out. Remove these 3 bolts. They are, I think they are 4 millimeters or something like that. Allen keys. And then once you have it off, it's a lot easier if you do have a vise. In my case, I don't have one, but I have to go get one. I was able to do it without it, but when you loosen these 2 bolts, this will pry upwards on this. Grab this. Well, let me show you on the one that I have off the table. So here's the one I took apart. So you have it up here, and you grab your 10 millimeter wrench to hold this right there, and then it's a 7. Not all 7s will fit. Like my Max 7 fits. You unscrew the shaft, and this is the piston that's in there, and it travels on there on this shaft. So make sure not to scar any of this that is, traveling inside of this. It was very difficult to take out this clip that holds in this whole assembly. The trick is to push it down, and some of you that are going to be doing this is like the same thing I was going through. Is like, how the hell are you going to get this out? But it will come out. You pretty much, when you have the clip in here, for instance, I'll show you here, it kind of pushes down. So you'll push on it here, push it down, and then you wedge it and pop it up. Make sure to wear safety glasses. This is under a lot of tension, and it'll shoot out and hit you in the eyeball. And it's okay if you score this. Just do not get into the cylinder and score any of that. So this is the seal. The polyurethane seals, as you can see, are already cracking. These are the ones that go bad in my kit. These are the replacement ones. They are a little bit thinner. Don't worry about that. People have used this kit and it doesn't matter, so that it's thinner, because it's going to sit a little bit differently than you would think. I'll show you that in a little bit. But the main cylinder that leaked on me, it leaks out from underneath through here, and it's in there. It's the main cylinder. We'll get to that in order, but I'm going to finish this one. I already rebuilt that one. I'll show you guys the steps on this one. And then to remove this cover, which goes right here, there is these points that are just slid in, and these 2 screws that are sitting right here that fasten here and on the other side. So just be careful not to damage any of this stuff. And those are just Phillips screws. These are the latch covers. And then just slide that out. Alright, so let's get to rebuilding this other cylinder. The kit does come with picks. These are all the O-rings that you'll need for the 12 cylinders. I'm only on the second one, which is fine. Take your time. If you rush it, you're going to damage something, lose something. Don't lose these clips. You can't buy them anywhere, or damage these. I mean, you could probably buy these used, but they're probably not cheap. I have watchmaker screwdrivers that are very sturdy and were good to get those clips out, and there's going to be a lot of them. So you grabbed your 10 to hold the bottom down like so. Now you can use your 7 to unscrew this guy, and I've already done that, so take this off by hand. Move this to the side, and now this order is important. This is a washer, and then there's your seal that was in my other one. Will pop out, but you know, this comes off this way. Put this on the side. Now you don't replace this. Any of this stuff stays from what I've seen. So now we'll just pop out the old seal. We'll clean this out, and do not replace this one. Doesn't mention anything of that nature, so we're going to leave that. We'll clean it all off. There might be some debris from you picking at the other end. We'll just clean the inside of this. I have some longer Q-tips. These are great. Get these on Amazon. There's debris in here, so I'm going to clean all this out. And then we'll re-lubricate everything. We can put some oil in here. So it's a little bit, so it's lubricated. Clean. And we'll push this back in. And then to get this back in, could do 12 millimeter, and we'll pop it in. But I think it's 11. This one's too big. Obviously you want to drop this down. And then just tap it lightly so it seats itself. So you could fit the C-clip back. Clean this C-clip off. And then to get this back in, you could use a larger screwdriver. It's easier. Once again, make sure this shaft is down to get this back in. There we go. See, that's in. Get our 7. And we will proceed to tighten this guy. Okay. That's done. Now you gotta slide it here, pop it in here. Just make sure the orientation is correct when you're putting it back here. The latch is this way, so we have it wrong right now. We want to flip this guy this way, and that's how our lines will go. So yeah, let's go ahead and put these last 2 screws, and they had Loctite on them, so we're going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on them. I have the gel one at hand. You could use whatever you want. Just a little bit. And close properly. So you could either make marks when you're taking this stuff off. Or simply just put them back where the markings are, the old markings you'll see. Let's go ahead and kind of fit these lines back in, I guess, for reinstalling this. Seems like that is the way to go. Here, there we go. There we go, make sure that line is in. Here's the connector. Make sure that's clipped in. Goes like that. That's in. Show you these clips. See these? These go in like so. I'll put this one in once I tighten these. I'm not putting any Loctite on this. Click. Oh, let me put that clip back in. All right, next step is to raise the roll bar. If you can't do it via your key, there's a special wrench if you don't have the wrench. Then you could use a regular wrench most likely. I'm not sure what size. It looks to be maybe like 11 or 12. But this is the tool. You pop this guy on here, and that allows you to lift this end right here, which I'll demonstrate. So you just go like this, and that pops the latch. Now there's another one on this side. If it's a 97 or newer, you only have the one on that side. In our case, we have 2 here. Alright, so now we have opened this, and we can manually lift and get access to our soft top and all the rest of the cylinders. So, majority of our cylinders will be here, and the main rams are on each side. My ram that was leaking was on the driver's side. And that's all we need, really. This gives us access to this guy here and other side too. So then we're gonna have to tackle this guy, and you can tell it's been leaking. There's fluid on top, and you can tell this one's leaking because there's fluid leaking everywhere in here. Do here is remove 1, 2, 3, looks like 10 millimeters. Unplug this plug, the flathead. Then I'll show you how to do the rest. What you're going to want to do on both sides is push this latch down here. Put your tool in here. And we're just pretty much compressing the piston. That's what the latch would do if it was the top was closed, and that will allow us to easily remove everything. Alright, you can see why I compressed the piston. Now, what we're going to do is take off our circlips. Don't lose them. Actually, it's too small. I got here. Alright, put them in our oh, and there's still fluid in there, so watch out. I knew that, but shot out anyway. If you don't have a 5 millimeter, you could use vice grips that are tiny. Okay, got that. Now same situation with these snap rings that's up here. You got an access point to pick at it, which is nice. I don't know why they didn't have that on the other ones. Look at that, how easy that came out. Let's vacuum that out. So this is going to be the replacement. Let me clean the inside of the brake cleaner, blew it out, dried it up, put some fluid back in there. We'll lubricate these. I'm going to double check if we don't need to change any of these O-rings. And then if we do, we'll change those and we'll put it all back together. Alright, so the kit only gives you 2 seals per what is this called? Brain fart. Cylinder. Which one goes inside of the piston and the one goes outside. So that's all we're doing. So I already cleaned this out. I'm going to lubricate this. Guys, this is nuts. I hate this so much. I want to throw this whole thing into the wall. Got it. All right, let's put this back together. Thread it here. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hydraulic cylinders rebuilt, and I just finished this one, 5, and then 6 is right in there, and then I'm going to show you how to take that apart. This side's a little bit more difficult, I guess not, but it's got a pump that holds up the tonneau cover or torno, whatever you want to call it. So just make sure you have that supported. In my case, I do have that passenger side already done, so it should be okay. We're going to remove the, first I removed this. Well, before any of that, you have your paneling, which I took out. There's 1, and then like 2, 3, 4, 5, I think like 6 these plastic clips that you should use a pair of these guys for. And once you have that out, you have access to everything. You can take the battery cover out on the left side. You could remove these to do that or not, your choice. And so now, after that, so on this side we're going to start off by removing the clips. Once again, do not lose these. Possible to find. I don't even know where you would buy something like that. After you finish rebuilding this guy, you're going to take these 3 bolts out and remove this lock cylinder. Before you do that, start from here, pop this line, pop that line, and unplug this clip and then remove it. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now you have this cylinder here. Take the C-clip off, pop it out here, and then this is a little bit difficult to remove. See that? It's threaded into there. If you don't have a 5mm, you could use thin vice grips like I have here. Don't get it anywhere. See where this goes right here? That's the max you're allowed to scar any of this. You can't scar that shaft. I'm gonna go ahead and first I'll take this section off here. Pop this guy out. As so. Fluid in here again. Always forget. I'll go shoot that out. Now I'm going to take some MAP gas and I'm going to heat. Sure enough, it did. Oh, forgot that that's hot. Put this on the side. Alright, you're ready to rebuild this guy. It's a little hot here. Alcohol wipe here. Clean this off. Okay. Corrosion on here. We'll clean it up. Alright, we'll put this back in. So try that again. Now you want to put bolts back how they were previously. This is what I'm doing. All right, this is all done. Got a final wipe down so that when we go to check, make sure there's no leaks. Don't have any surprises. All right, guys, so an update here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cylinders rebuilt. And we have 2 more on each side, so 9, 10, 11, 12. So what to do next is drop the top, put it in the storage area, and then raise the roll bar up, and then we'll get to removing the interior paneling. And yeah, so that'll be the next step, so let's go ahead and do that. So this part is also not going down properly. We'll lift the roll bar. All right, next up we're gonna unscrew these flaps. There's Phillips screws, and get this guy off. We'll have to remove this seal, remove the cap, remove this paneling. Same thing for the other side. That's a 17. Move this guy. Why is this doing this? Okay, now we'll be able to move this. You don't have to remove the seat, which is nice. At least I don't think you do it right now. But here are your cylinders. Some crazy stuff going on here. I'll tell you that much. Crazy stuff. Oh, we have our access port here. It's one of the pins we're probably going to take off. And it's for the main rams. And then just an access port here. All right. One more step that you have to do is remove the carpeting and the plastic panel on that side to access that cylinder, which I'll show you, but we'll go ahead and we'll do this one. It might be locked up, but if you guys could see anything, there we go. There you have your rubber boot. You have to snip the zip tie that's holding that boot together, which I've already done, and you have to pop that clip down. There's a clip. I'll show you if I can get to it. Right there. You slide that down. That'll be your other line that has to go down. And up here, you have to pop this pin out. It goes in like this. There's a circlip on there. Pop that out, and that'll allow you to slide this cylinder out. This line, it's like this. I'll try to get this guy out for you. Kind of go up and slide it this way, and careful so you don't scratch the shaft. You could push it in to be safe, but here you have the main rams, and these leak internally in here. There's two different types. This is the older style. It's threaded in here. So next up, I'll show you how to remove that. All right, it's important to note the positioning of the cylinder. So the lines have to be going facing this way and here. So I took a marker and I marked it right there. And I've already loosened this up, but I'm going to show you. It's kind of difficult. What I did, I grabbed some vice grips. If you don't have a vice, tighten it here, and then open an adjustable wrench, and then unscrewed it like so. But that's not what you do first. First, you have to get this off, which I haven't gotten off yet. I'm going to do it right now. You have to unscrew this so that you can get it past this cylinder and get to those seals in there. I think the only way to do that is to grip it with a vise. Just wrap this a lot so it doesn't scratch. So I'm going to go do that really quickly at my brother's house, and I'll jump back on here with you guys. But yeah, this will unthread, and if it doesn't, what I did is I heated it up with MAP gas, like so. Just heat this area until it gets hot, and that'll break up the thread locker, and this should free up pretty easily. We just want to make sure we don't scratch this, so I have to go do that at my brother's, and then I'm probably just going to buy my own vise. I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but it's one of those things. I haven't used it that often. So then you can mark these if you have both out, so you know this is the passenger side, so I just put a P. Yeah, and then probably going to be this seal and then another one on the inside, but we'll see when we get there. When you're doing the other side, there's this cover here, seatbelt, sits over here, and like that. And there's some 10mm plastic bolts. Just get those out. And I had a pretty big issue, which I'll show you guys. If you guys run into this issue, I'll show you what to do. And these are what those funnels look like, that are essentially catch all the hydraulic fluid so it doesn't get on your paint and stuff, and it drains to the floor, which is pretty cool. So you'll have to put a new zip tie around here once you reinstall everything. But what I was getting at with this, the major issue I had was somebody was in here and they tried to get this bolt out, and it holds the main shaft like this. And these ears were cracked, so we removed them all the way. And what saved my life was this toolkit, which I will link on Amazon. I bought two because I didn't know which one would work. This first one would fit into the opening, so you know, it would catch this and then it would reverse it out and then it would reverse it. But I used this kit, which went over the whole bolt, so pretty much we got it on. We got this guy on. My brother did this for me, and we removed it. So yeah, this kit was a lifesaver. It's Gyroran. I don't know how to pronounce that, but and then I ordered up 2 new bolts for each side of them. All right, so I got this all apart, and the trick to it is, pull this out, just heat this up a lot, and then get a thick glove, has a good grip, and grab the shaft here, and then you could put this in the vise and then you could turn it, or just grab some an open-ended wrench. You should be able to turn it out, which is we did the vise and it came out. It's essentially all the thread locker that's holding it in. It's not really screwed in there super tight. The thread locker is what holds it. So this part was pretty easy to unscrew, and this slides through here, and I'll show you guys the seals. So inside of there you'll change the O-ring, and then inside of here you'll pick out the plastic poly bushing, which was deteriorated on my part on the passenger side. That's why I was leaking. This is like a felt ring here where the shaft slides on for lubrication. Yeah, so I'll show you which O-rings to put in. Well, they're already in, so they're not in this kit, but it is the thinner, large one. There's only 2 of them, so you'll see those. And then the medium, thick O-ring, not the fatter one, because you'll see it's this one's too fat. pull it out. And there's going to be some room compared to the old one, how it sits. See how this one is much thicker? And when you put it in there, it's not, you know, this is too thick and won't slide on the shaft, so don't use that one. Now we could lubricate this, get it off. We'll put some blue Loctite on there. Just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna now remove the cylinders right here, and here's a micro switch. I should be able to press it in. I'm not able to. That's because it's bent here. So possibly somebody was in here already and they didn't remove that properly when reinstalling. So that will cause issues of closing and opening the top, and there's a way to fix that by bending these tabs up so this travels. First, we're going to unscrew the 3 Phillips screws right there, and that'll allow us to get this whole assembly out. We'll unplug it on the other end, and we'll have that out. You see in there, there's one more screw we got to get out for the wire, and then it's plugged in here, so we got to unplug it and we'll get it out. All right, that is loose. Now we just feed the wire somewhere where it is. Alright, well, I lost the clip. Will I find it? I don't know. I hope so, because that ain't gonna be fun. But either way, pop this guy out now. Got that out. Now let me look for that clip. Next up, if you look in this bolt, in this hole, I mean, there's a bolt. That's Allen. You got to get that out. That's with the top down. So put the top down manually and get that bolt out. Boom, got that out. All right, now just push it out with the screwdriver from this spot and then lift up. And then you'll have room to remove these right there. Slide these this way and pull these lines out. They're numbered. They're numbered down here on the actual lines, so you can't really mess them up. All right, the new bolts are in, so I'm going to go ahead and install these, and we'll test everything out. And then, so I ran into a little bit of a problem. I dropped one of the main bolts for the rams into the cavity and into the frame of the car. I had a hell of a time getting it out. I did get it out, and I even broke a magnet, and I got that magnet out. So yeah, don't do that, and make sure you're extra careful and have a deep socket. I didn't know that there was just an open space that the bolt would fall through, and it was a 4 or 5 inch bolt. So yeah, I used my camera, and then you'll need one of these magnets to extract it. But yeah, that wasn't fun, but nevertheless, I got 2 new bolts. These are the old styles, Allen keys, my broken one. And now we can go ahead and put in the new style, and I'll put down the part number for you right here. There's the part number if anyone needs it. And the bolt is a 14 millimeter. Already comes thread locked. And we're gonna feed it through this hole right here, which I'll show you. And once that is done, we should be ready to roll. Also have to put those spacers in, so don't forget about those. Show you what's going on here. See that over there? Just shoved that guy in and I fed the bolt through. Now I can do the same thing here. Alright, I got both of them in. Now just pop your lock on the hose. I've already tightened that one. We can double check. Yep. And now we could go ahead and tighten that bolt. Click. Alright, so I've checked all the cylinders, made sure they're not leaking. I did have to remove both of these cylinders, and I did buy the Erling polyurethane bushings for these, as I didn't like the way they were seated, so now these are both operating the proper way. Key things to note when installing these: make sure to face the little top part, the bigger part, facing outward, so towards the back, especially on that one because it's got that micro switch that you guys saw. And you got to make sure all the micro switches are working properly. I've already tested it, it all works. I'll show you guys how it operates once I have all this back together. So for now, I'm going to put together the interior. You guys saw me take it apart. Reinstallation is pretty straightforward. Couple clips back here, one screw here, seatbelt presenters, and the back seat if you have one. Otherwise, you have a subwoofer, which is a little bit different, but all pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and get this stuff back together. Alright guys, the car is done. Everything is back together. Well, let's go ahead and show you how this thing works. Turn off the radio. Cycle through the steps. Everything seems to be working great. I did run into some issues before, and all right, the car is finished, and let's go ahead and run the cycle. I was doing it, my battery died, so I'll redo it for you guys. Closing nicely. Sometimes you gotta cycle it. This is the first time. Or do it in reverse order. So we'll unlatch, start over. This part's broken on my car. The band part ripped. Do this a couple times and then we should be golden. All the fluid's got to go through all the cylinders. There's 12 of them, a lot of lines, and then I already checked the fluid, but I'll check it again once I go through the cycles a couple times. I think I gotta unlatch those. If you mess with this, which we did with the key initially, you gotta reset these latches. Okay, now they're reset. Because there's little micro switches everywhere. If those aren't working in sequence, then you're not gonna complete the process. Now we're locked. And that sequence is done. We'll also start the car. This is supposed to fold in that way. I think I flipped the latches the wrong way. Lock them. We'll try the sequence again. And it's locked. Now we should be in sequence. as you can see, the top main hydraulics, everything's working. They're all latching and unlatching. Just a matter of getting this thing to program properly. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Clearly, those latches are causing me some issues here. Let's try this again. Okay, those lock, that lock. That's good. And I'll try to just take the key out when this is all done. Start the sequence over. Alright, now let's try this over again. There we go. All right, we're done. So I've rebuilt all the 12 hydraulic cylinders. I ran into some issues. I rebuilt 2 of them twice, the top Torno ones, and I used the polyurethane bushings on those. Everything is great now. No leaks. I'll top off the fluid. I think it's already maxed out, but I'll double check it once I run the cycles a couple more times. If you have a brittle old soft top and you're moving it by hand back and forth, then it probably will crack like mine did, and just inevitable. You could probably get the windows replaced, so make sure to stay tuned and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.